If he felt pride or joy in what he had done, he did not let anybody see it. If he ever had felt proud or had feeling of joy in what he had done, he had got independence. So whenever he had ever felt pride or proud or joy on what he had achieved, he did not let anybody see it. He never ever let anybody to see that feeling of joy or proud on him. Through all the excitement of those first days in the life of the young nation, as the first days of Pakistan were full of excitement, were full of great happiness people were having, the man who had made it possible remained calm. Okay? But Qaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah at that time was not having that was not showing that kind of excitement and happiness. Rather, he remained calm, serious, and sober. Sober again means serious. Perhaps there may be a reason behind it, behind his seriousness, behind his calmness. It may be, maybe he was thinking of the millions of people who had become homeless when India and Pakistan became separate countries. There may be the reason that Qaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah was worried about those people who had got homeless, who had become homeless while moving from India to Pakistan. They had to, because when Pakistan got independence and when Muslims and the people who were migrating from India to Pakistan, they had to leave their property over there. They had to leave their homes over there. So they were coming to Pakistan barehanded. So maybe Qaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah was worried about those people. Or maybe, perhaps, he was thinking of thousands who were being attacked and killed on the roads and railways as they tried to reach their homeland. Students, when Pakistan got independence and when the people were migrating from India to Pakistan, so as India had not accepted and still is not accepting Pakistan as a separate nation, so he's just trying, the country is just trying to put hurdles in the way of progress of Pakistan. So at that time as well, India was creating deliberate efforts to put hurdles on the way of progress of the country, or India wanted to get Pakistan back. So it was just trying to create hurdles, and the people who were migrating from India to Pakistan, they were either attacked or killed on their way to Pakistan. Pakistan's first year was terrible. Why that year was terrible? Because at that time, people were leaving India and coming towards Pakistan, leaving behind their properties and their homes and coming barehanded, and many of them were being killed and attacked by the Indians. And India was also creating hurdles in every aspect of the life of Pakistan, whether it was social, political, or economic. So that year was terrible. That year was horrible for Pakistan. 500,000 Indian Muslims were either killed or imprisoned. Imprisoned mean confined, कैद कर लिया गया था उन्हें, या तो उन्हें कत्ल कर दिया गया था या उन्हें कैद कर लिया गया था. 6.5 million people left their homes and took refuge in Pakistan. As I told you that when people were migrating towards Pakistan, so they were leaving behind their properties and they were coming barehanded to Pakistan, and they had to take refuge, they had to take shelter in Pakistan. So that was another challenge for Pakistan, how to settle these people and how to provide employment to these people as well as basic necessities of life as well. Due to Indian atrocities. Okay, why they were leaving India? Just because of the atrocities mean mazalim, cruelties of Indians. They had to leave India. Qaid Azam was shocked at these happenings. At that time, Quaid-e-Azam was greatly surprised what to do on these things. Despite this, he extended the hand of friendship. Despite of all these horrible situation or terrible situation, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah never ever thought of taking revenge from India. Rather, he extended hand of friendship towards India with the view that, what was the view behind that? Why was Quaid-e-Azam extending hand of friendship towards India? Because he knew that the enemy of today may be friend of tomorrow. आज का दुश्मन जो है वो कल दोस्त भी हो सकता है. And students, the relation between countries are so fluctuating that you cannot say that a country which is the enemy of another country will be the enemy forever. No, not at all. Maybe in future that country would be the fast friend of that country. So keeping in view this important thing, Quaid-e-Azam extended hand of friendship towards India. There was much in those days of violence, as that year was, those days were full of problems and hurdles. So that time was, or those days were of violence. And because of those hurdles and those problems, Quaid-e-Azam used to be saddened all the time. Jinnah, who was a man of very strong feelings, although he really showed it. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah possessed strong feelings, and he did not, or he rarely mean seldom, not often, showed his feelings. Yet those who were close to him, those who were close friends of Quaid-e-Azam, on Independence Day, sometimes saw for a few moments a happier man. They could easily see for a few moments a happier man. Quaid-e-Azam for some time showed his happiness, and his close friends could easily see that happiness. Once he went to the balcony of the governor house. Balcony mean a gallery, from where he could see without being seen. He could see the people, the great crowd of people who were standing outside governor house, but he could not be seen by those people. And as he looked at the crowd, still cheering, the crowd was still cheering and shouting in the streets outside and raising their slogans, he smiled at them. Who smiled? Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah smiled. In that smile could be seen the warm-hearted man, a friendly person, a kind person, a sympathetic person could be seen at that moment when he smiled on that crowd. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was at this time tired and far from well. Far from well means he was not okay, rather he was sick. Because of the struggle, because of the efforts he put in order to get independence. So he was quite tired and far from well. He was not okay. He was sick. But he had the satisfaction. But at the same time, he was satisfied of knowing that the greater part of his work was done.